Hiya, just a quick message regarding Volkswagen overheating problems. There's a lot about it online, about the Volkswagen PD engine, strange overheating characteristics. Maybe it's okay at idle, but it's not good on a run. Thermostat seems to be okay. Odd characteristics of overheating. So you've probably read it on online and found out for yourself that the water pump fails, but what isn't always made clear is actually how the water pump fails. So I've got one here today that has actually gone faulty, so I can show you physically what happens to the water pump. First of all, that's what we're talking about. This is the typical 1.9 PD engine. Remember guys, you've got to pin the cams, undo these cam bolts so that the cam pulley rotates on its own. You pin the cam here. Important to do that. Also important to lock the crank at the bottom. Don't just paint it because the timing does move. But getting back to the point, the water pump sits down here, and what happens is the water pump is constructed part aluminium body, part steel and part plastic. And the impeller, when the water pump sits on the belt, the water pump spins around like this, and that's what moves your water around the engine. Your coolant moves it around the engine. But because you've got a difference in material there, you've got a plastic impeller and a steel shaft, sometimes they change, especially under different temperatures, and then you get this happening where the plastic impeller is just spinning freely on the shaft. Obviously you don't want that happening. This one here has got to be turning and driving the water pump. With the resistance of the water, or the coolant I should say, this will just erratically spin on the shaft and not move your coolant around the engine properly. So that's actually what happens. Easy way to test. On some of the engines you can get around the back of the water pump, take the thermostat housing off, put your finger through the thermostat housing, and what you can do is you can put your finger through the thermostat housing where the thermostat sits, and you can actually feel whether this is loose or not. So that's a quick and easier way of doing it without taking the timing belt off. Or failing that, if the water pump's due to be replaced, just replace the bloody thing. You can get updated ones with metal impellers. They seem to be better. So that's what you're looking for. The famous loose water pump impeller on the Volkswagens. The other thing that happens is sometimes they break up, and then it's really obvious what's happened. All the bits of plastic are sat down inside the water jacket. Obviously in that case, the only important thing to do there is to make sure you get all the broken bits out. So there we are. Good luck.